cell phones or put them on silent alarm. Gentlemen, please remove your hats for the presentation of the colors by the Wayne Memorial High School JROTC and the National Anthem. Friends of the graduates, members of the Board of Education, fellow educators, and honored guests, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremonies for Wayne Memorial High School's graduating class of 2015. Commencement is a formal ceremony. We are asking for your help in maintaining the dignity of this event by observing the following traditions. Please refrain from leaving your seat to take pictures during the ceremony. Professional photographers will be taking color photos of all graduates as they receive their diplomas. These photos will be available for purchase. Therefore, personal pictures should only be taken after the ceremony. This is a right and proper ceremony. We are sure that you agree that each family present today has the right to hear their graduate's name when it is announced. We ask for your respectful silence during the diploma ceremony. Please hold your applause until all graduates have received their diploma. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the audience will be asked to stand and recognize the class of 2015. Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, I would like to introduce my colleague, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Lindsay Russo.
It is my privilege to introduce the Wayne Westland Community Schools Board of Education and the Administrative Cabinet. Please stand and be recognized as you are introduced. Audience, please hold your applause until all names have been read. Wayne Westland Community Schools Board of Education, Mr. Tom Buckaloo, President, Dr. Frederick Weaver, Vice President, Ms. Carol Medell, Secretary, Ms. Shauna Walker, Treasurer, Mr. Charles Trav Griffin, Trustee, Ms. Melody Hines, Trustee. The Administrative Cabinet, Dr. Michelle Harmala, Superintendent of the Wayne Westland Community Schools, Mr. John Albrecht, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Mr. Jim Larson Scheibler, Deputy Superintendent of Administrative and Business Services, Ms. Kelly Bull, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources and Support Services. I take great pleasure in now introducing the Vice President of the Class of 2015, Tyler Harnos.
I would like to introduce the administration of Wayne Memorial High School. Please hold your applause until all names have been read. Mr. Greg Ambrose, Athletic Director, Ms. Lindsay Russo, Assistant Principal, Ms. Denise Brennan, Assistant Principal, Ms. Keisha Reeves, Assistant Principal, Mr. Kevin Weber, Principal. The administration of the William D. Ford Career Technical Center. Mr. Daniel Calhoun, Assistant Principal, Mr. Steve Kay, Principal. The Faculty Council of Wayne Memorial High School. Ms. Christian Chason, Counseling. Mrs. Elizabeth Box, Language Arts. Ms. Martha Ware, Life Skills. Mrs. Laura Malcolm and Ms. Danielle Phillips, World Languages. Mr. David Brinkerhoff, Industrial Arts. Mrs. Erica Hanna, Fine Arts. Mr. Andrew Risenen, Mathematics. Ms. Catherine Stelma, Physical Education. Mrs. Stephanie Niedermeyer, Science, and Ms. Carrie Horitz, Social Science. And the sponsors for the senior class of 2015, Ms. Carrie Horitz, Mrs. Danny Raichi. And will the rest of the staff members please stand? Please recognize the staff of Wayne Memorial High School and the William D. Ford Career Technical Center. Now I would like to introduce the president of the Wayne Memorial High School School Senate, Ms. Amy Hoke.
Good afternoon. I would like to introduce the 2015 class officers. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. President Jordan Califf, Vice President Tyler Harnos, Corresponding Secretary Abigail Baker, Recording Secretary Caitlin Cooter, Treasurer Janae Strickland, Historian Rachel Sharon. Senate officers, Corresponding Secretary Matthew Fisher, Recording Secretary Navreet Bangu, Sergeant at Arms Haley Lutz, Publicity Manager Rachel Sherian, Treasurer Danielle Lynn, Historian Gabrielle Sharon. Please recognize the senators seated with the graduates of the class of 2015. These senators have earned 50 hours or more of service to the school, class, and community. Please stand now. The student government sashes are worn in recognition of their significant contribution to the class of 2015. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Matt Dyroff and the Zebra Symphony Orchestra, who will be performing The Magic of Harry Potter, arranged by Michael Story. She began her job and assumed her responsibilities on July 1st of 2014. She comes to Wayne Westland from Farmington Public Schools, where she served as the Associate Superintendent and has served in numerous roles throughout her career in education. Dr. Harmala has a teaching degree in special education and mathematics, a master's degree in secondary special education, and an education specialist degree in administration, and a Doctor of Philosophy degree in educational leadership and policy studies. She has taught at every level from preschool through postgraduate college courses. On a personal note, Dr. Harmala credits her formal education and experiences as being a big part of what prepared her to take on the role of superintendent. But there were some informal things that shaped her career as well. She is one of the oldest children in a family of 14 siblings. She has always been active in community service and provides leadership to community efforts too. She is married with 2 grown boys and is proud to be a first-time grandmother to Hayden Rose, who was born in September of 2014. In her free time, she likes spending time with her granddaughter, reading, playing ice hockey, and enjoying her cottage up north. Dr. Harmala continues to focus her full efforts on making Wayne Westland the best place to be for students, parents, and staff. Regardless of the issues that may lie ahead, we can rest assured that our superintendent will support our community and your sons and daughters. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Harmala.
Thank you, Principal Weber. Good afternoon. It's absolutely my pleasure to be here celebrating this momentous occasion with all of you. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2015. I would like to take a moment to thank those of you who made this day possible for all of these graduates. I'll start with our staff. Thank you in all of your various roles for organizing and ensuring this ceremony honors our students. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to ensuring our students are responsible and prepared for the adult world that lies ahead. Friends of our students and their families, thank you to all of you for your support and encouragement of these graduates on their road to this graduation day. We all know how important our friends are to our lives and our success. Family members, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, grandparents and the like, you have been a part of these graduates' lives through the years, and your support and encouragement is appreciated. Parents and guardians, the importance of your love and commitment to the education of your children, these graduates in particular, has been key to their growth and their success. Let's give a round of applause to all those who have helped you get here today. And students, you have achieved the status of graduate today. You have worked hard, stayed the course, met the challenges, and you have demonstrated by the fact that you're sitting here today that you are ready to take on new challenges, greater challenges, challenges that will enhance you and will enhance our world. Let me highlight some of the many accomplishments of this graduating class. We have 79 academic letter winners and 20 presidential academic award winners in our midst. We have 17 valedictorians and 1 salutatorian. Approximately $5 million in scholarships have been provided to this graduating class. Way to go, students. Once again, Wayne Memorial High School can say and be proud of the fact that one of its students has again been the recipient of the prestigious Gates Millennium Scholarship. The Wayne Memorial High School bowling team took first place in the state, and students in this class have selected to attend various trade schools, technical schools, colleges and universities because of their skills and talents in academics, the arts, and athletics. We also have students who have chosen to enlist in the armed forces, and we are tremendously grateful to you for your commitment to us and to our country. All of these graduates have attained the graduation requirements of the state of Michigan and of Wayne-Westland Community Schools. Your achievements demonstrate your successes and are a foundation to the successes we know you will attain in the years ahead. I'd like to share just a couple of thoughts about those years ahead and people, data, and things that exist in our world. If you think about it, that's really what our world is comprised of. It's all over, and it's quite unavoidable. I'm often in awe of the things that are available to us, objects that we need in our lives, and many that we want, but truly may not need at all. We have big box stores on every corner. We can go online and make purchases any time of day, any day of the week, for anything that we can imagine. When you were born, approximately 1997 or so, Amazon was just getting started. If you bought in at their first shares when they started trading in 1997 and you held those shares, your shares would be up by 12,397%. Clearly, this demonstrates our interest and consumption of things and how much things have become important in our lives. We also hear a lot about data in all types of jobs and for all types of decisions. Marketers collect data related to your purchases, your desires, and your interests. We track our spending, our calories, and our weight. Your teachers track your attendance and your grades. Graduates, you will be inundated with data in your post-high school studies and in your future employment, not to mention your day-to-day lives. In 2013, Science Daily reported that a full 90% of all data in the world had been generated since 2011-2012. The internet plays a tremendous role in the collection, storage, and utilization of data. But more importantly, let me talk about people. Today, there are about 7.3 billion people in the world. With the advances of technology, there are ways to interact with people across the globe that did not exist when you were born. You interact with many people through social media, but we also have the wonderful opportunity to interact with people much more personally. You have built friendships with other students throughout your career at Wayne Memorial High School, as well as throughout the Wayne-Westland community. You will meet new people and build additional friendships in the years ahead. As rapidly as things and data are changing, it seems we throw out the old and bring in the new at a fast pace. Our relationships with people, however, are and need to be more sustaining. We need each other. We laugh and we cry with our families, our friends, and our neighbors. And on occasion, we laugh and we cry with complete strangers when we learn of their joys and their tragedies. We lean on each other when it is needed, and we offer a hand when we need that too. As you leave this graduation ceremony, remember the importance of the people in your lives. Remember to thank your family and friends for all they have done for you and for all they will do in your future. I encourage you to get to know others, to build relationships that are mutually beneficial and joy-filled. In a recent article in Current Biology, they noted that spending just 15 minutes with another person is all it takes to start to develop empathy with a complete stranger. Empathy is defined as having the capacity to understand and to participate in the ideas and feelings of other people. I'm continually reminded of how similar we all are. We have similar needs and desires, and more broad ways, similar goals for our lives. Albert Einstein said, "We know from daily life that we exist first of all for other people, for whose smiles and well-being our own happiness depends." Graduates, as you head into your future, deal with and manage the things and the data that will come and go throughout your lives, but spend a good deal of time building and sustaining relationships with people, new and old, familiar and unfamiliar, as these relationships are far more important and beneficial to you and your future than anything or piece of data ever will be. On behalf of the Wayne Westland Community Schools and our Board of Education, I commend all of you for attaining the status of graduate and for your fine accomplishments. I wish you the best in your future.
It is my privilege to introduce the distinguished alumnus Kevin Allen from the Wayne Memorial Class of 1974. Kevin Allen has worked for Gannett newspaper chain since 1983 and has been USA Today's hockey writer since 1986. In 2013, he was awarded the Lester Patrick Award for contributions to hockey in the United States. In 2014, he was honored by the Hockey Hall of Fame. During his 40-year journalism career, Allen has written about every major sport. He has been to 8 Olympic Games, 29 Stanley Cup Finals. He has covered more than 600 NHL playoff games, plus numerous Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, and college games. His career has taken him to Super Bowls, World Series, the NBA Final, and the NCAA Final Four. He is past president of the Professional Hockey Writers Association and is the author of more than 20 sports books, including Why is the Stanley Cup in Mario Lemieux's Pool and Star Spangled Hockey, considered the most authoritative work on the history of hockey in the United States. He is a frequent guest on radio and television sports shows and is a regular on the Cranky Old Sports Writers podcast. An Eastern Michigan University graduate, Mr. Allen was born and raised in Michigan, graduating from Wayne Memorial High School in 1974. He credits former Wayne Memorial High School journalism teachers Jim Keyworth and Darrell Emerson for inspiring him and putting him on the path toward a successful career. He has been married for 32 years to Terry Sherman Allen, a 1973 graduate of Wayne Memorial. They have 3 children and 2 grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming our distinguished alumnus for 2015, Mr. Kevin Allen.
Good afternoon, family, friends, Board of Education, Central Office Administration, faculty, alumni, and the class of 2015. 41 years ago, I was sitting where the seniors are sitting today, a young man about to graduate from high school, full of hope and excitement about what the future might bring. It was 1974. To you guys, that must seem like the Paleozoic era, ancient history. To me, it seems like yesterday. Now it's 2015, and I'm standing up here as an older man, but nothing has changed. I'm still full of hope and optimism and excitement about what the future might bring. The message I have for you today is to embrace that optimism, hope, and wonder you feel, and make that the foundation of your life moving forward. Carry it with you through every job interview, every college class, every success, every failure, all of your highs and all of your lows. Make optimism and wonder and hope your best friends. If you always travel with optimism and hope, then you are guaranteed of a far greater enjoyment of your life's experiences. 5 weeks ago, I was driving on the Ohio Turnpike heading to Pittsburgh for a writing assignment. I stopped at the Service Plaza to grab some lunch. As I was walking up to the door, I spotted an elderly woman using a walker, also heading in that direction. I stopped, waited, and held the door in anticipation of her arrival. She thanked me, then grabbed my arm and said, "Do you know that America is full of good people?" I said, "Yeah, I think I do." And she said, "It's true. Now that I use a walker, I'm sure of that. The television news makes it seem like bad people are everywhere, but every day someone does something nice for me." This was a woman in her 80s, and she seemed as excited about the future as you are today. Because you're about to graduate from high school, we all want to give you tips about choosing a career. It's all vital information. It's important to choose your career and not let a career choose you. It's critical to find a job you would like to do, or a company you would want to work for, or a city you want to work in, or people you want to work with. That's the key to a successful career. I'm an example of someone who turned his passion into a career. When I was young, I loved sports and I loved writing. At some point I realized that was actually a career option. For 4 decades I've been paid to write about sports. I've been paid to go to all those Olympic Games that was previously mentioned, countless Super Bowls, World Series, the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, the NCAA basketball, NASCAR races, bowl games. I've done high school sports. I've done college sports of all varieties. I've covered events in Japan, Russia, Austria, Switzerland, France, Mexico, the Czech Republic, Norway, and many other places. It's as if someone has paid me to practice my hobby. My advice on careers is simple. Identify a facet of life that interests you, then figure out how to transform that passion into gainful employment. It's tricky business, but you can figure it out. You have to develop a plan to earn that job. You plan your vacation, you plan weekend trips with your friends, you gotta plan your career as well. But you've probably already heard that message enough. I hope you will find a career that you enjoy as much as I enjoy sports writing, but that's not my real message here. My true message is that no matter how much you enjoy your life's work, it should never be solely what your life is about. There's a difference between pouring yourself into a career and then letting that career consume you. You'll be hard-pressed to find anyone who has enjoyed his work more than I have. Not a single day of my writing career has ever been the same. Every day it's a different story, new people to interview, fresh information to gather. However, the truth is that the vast majority of the favorite moments in my life don't involve my career at all. Because I've been a national writer for more than 30 years, I'm often asked to name the best stories I've ever written or the best games I've ever attended. I struggle to come up with that list. What I do remember are my favorite life experiences. I remember meeting my wife in a typing class at Wayne Memorial High School when I was 15. I remember my oldest daughter sneezed when she was 8 seconds old. I remember how proud I was when I bought my first home in Port Huron, Michigan. It was $39,000 and I wondered how in the world I was ever going to be able to afford it. I remember being in a restaurant, being introduced to a World War II veteran and hearing someone ask him what he remembered most about serving in World War II. What I remember is being on the winning side, he said. I remember being on a bullet train traveling from Tokyo to Nagano, Japan, and meeting an elderly gentleman who served in the Japanese army in World War II. As he explained how much he hated the war, I recall thinking he was not the Japanese soldier that I saw in the war movies. I remember being with my wife driving 90 miles per hour on the German Autobahn and laughing uncontrollably as cars passed us like we were standing still. A couple years after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, I was in Berlin with my wife. One morning shortly after dawn, my wife and I took a walk down by the famed Brandenburg Gate. An older Russian soldier wanted to sell me his Russian military watch. The problem was, his English was poor and my Russian was non-existent. We negotiated in a badly butchered German. My wife called it one of the silliest events she has ever witnessed, a capitalist and a communist haggling over business transaction in a language that neither of them knew. I remember the day my son asked me to be his best man. I remember how I melted the first time my granddaughter Nora said, "Grandpa, will you play with me?" I remember also being on a golf course in Banff, Alberta, maybe the prettiest place on Mother Earth, when I saw a crowd of golfers backed up at the 10th tee. There were 10, 12, or 14 foursomes waiting. "What's going on?" I asked. "There's moose grazing on the 10th fairway," the starter told me. "Club rules are that the moose play through whenever they're feeding." "Well, how long do they eat?" I asked. He says, "Until they're done," he said. "You never tell a moose when to stop eating." So that's a rule I now live by. I never tell a moose when to stop eating. I do have a couple of work-related stories to tell. Again, we have to go back to the Paleozoic era in the late 1970s when I was writing for the Casa Grande Dispatch in Arizona. I was covering high school football on a Native American reservation when I realized that all of the high school players were wearing war paint. They had their faces painted like you see on Native Americans in those black and white old Western movies. My theory was that the players used war paint to scare the heebie-jeebies out of their opponents. It was a form of intimidation, I was pretty sure of that. I arranged an interview with the team captain, a senior who just happened to be the president of the Native American Student Association. He had already been accepted to an Ivy League college. He informed me that players wore the war paint as a salute to their ancestral and cultural heritage. He explained in solemn terms each symbol had a special meaning and gave me a history lesson about their tribes. As the interview broke up, I was feeling ashamed that I had assumed the war paint was a form of trash talking. And one other thing he said as he was walking away with his grin widening, war paint scares the snot out of our opponents. I don't know what the best story I ever wrote is, but I know my favorite assignment. It was a trip to the Arctic Circle to write about former Detroit Red Wings player Jordan Tootoo's life as the first Inuit to play in the NHL. It was July, and the ice on the Hudson Bay had melted only 2 weeks before. On the second day there, I went seal hunting with Jordan. 15 miles out on Hudson Bay, seal is a staple of the Inuit diet. I was in a boat with photographer Jordan, his friend, and it was a 10-foot boat with a 40-horsepower engine. It was like being in the middle of the ocean. No land in sight, no radio, no life vest, no oars. No way would we survive if the boat springs a leak. I would call it the scariest, most exhilarating day of my life. I'm probably the least likely person in world history to ever be on a seal hunting expedition. I've never even fired a gun. I visit seals at the zoo, I do not eat them. But by the end of the day, I had a good dose of hate on for those little critters. The little guys were taunting us, seals are evil, I swear it's true. Late in the day, Tutu steered us to an island. As our boat drifted toward shore, Jordan pumped a few rifle shots into the rocks. What's that all about, I asked. Well, polar bears sleep up there, and we don't want any surprises when we go ashore, Jordan said. Oddly, the subject of how to chase away polar bears while on a reporting assignment had never come up in any of my journalism classes. What you probably noticed is that there was no stories about Super Bowls, the Olympic Games, or Stanley Cup Finals. I didn't give you a list of all the famous people I've interviewed, even though I've interviewed a lot of famous people. I didn't do that because that's not what comes to mind when I discuss how my life has played out. Don't get me wrong, I love my career. I'm a junkie for the writing process. I love the chase, the adrenaline rush of a deadline. I love the thrill and terror of being a writer. If you don't feel a sense of angst and pain when you're writing a story, then you probably have not written a good one. But I believe strongly that a life that is devoted solely to a career is not a life well lived. A life fully explored is a life well lived. That's what I want to really tell you. Excuse me. Sometimes people will say that the best way to succeed is to plow straight ahead, putting one foot in front of the other in a forced march. That seems like bad advice to me. As you march through life, you need to be looking around and taking in what's happening around you. You can plan a career, but life just happens. You will miss much if you focus solely on your career in front of you. You can do both, but you need optimism and hope and wonder to keep the fascination with life fully fueled. We now live in a world where pessimism is widespread. People say my generation has left your generation with messes to clean up. That's probably true, but every generation is faced with unique challenges, and it's your generation's job to figure out fresh solutions. You don't solve problems by complaining about their origin. You solve problems by first believing they can be solved. It's that optimism thing that I've been talking about. One of my favorite movies is Apollo 13, starring Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon, among others. It's a true story about 3 American astronauts whose lives are placed in peril by a blown oxygen tank during a space mission. The trio abandons their planned lunar landing. They guide their crippled spacecraft back on a path toward Earth, while Houston's Mission Control desperately works to develop a plan to bring the men home safely. My favorite scene in the film is when an unnamed NASA director and Mission Control Chief Gene Kranz are discussing what could happen. This could be the worst disaster NASA's ever faced, the director said. With all due respect, sir, Kranz said, I believe this is going to be our finest hour. NASA brought those astronauts home. That's my hope for this class of 2015, that you will be like Kranz, that you will be eternal optimists, you will embrace challenges with optimism and wonder. My wife is the best parent in our house because she always knows the right thing to say for every occasion. And when my children were teenagers and going on dates or out with their friends, my wife always said the same thing. She said, have a great time, pay attention to your surroundings, and don't be stupid. You probably know where I'm going with this. Those words seem appropriate on this day when we are sending you out to save the world. Have a great time, soak in all that life has to offer, set an optimistic cadence, don't be fearful of walking up the path less traveled. Pay attention to your surroundings, look around you and appreciate the wonder of life, make an impact in somebody else's life every day. And of course, don't be stupid. That's probably self-explanatory. Congratulations to the class 2015. Go out and make the world a better place. On you, Zuko.
Good afternoon, parents, family members, Board of Education, distinguished staff, and honored guests. Congratulations to each of you. You have all played a role in getting these students to the pinnacle of K-12 education. Your support of these young people before you has been an essential ingredient in their recipe for success. And congratulations to you, class of 2015. You have much to be proud of. When I remember my graduation, I have not the slightest inclination as to what my principal said. With that in mind, I will be brief. I have a few nuggets of departing wisdom for you, though, and some wishes. But I'd like to start off by saying thank you. Thank you, class of 2015. You have been a tremendous class. Over the coming years, I will look back at your class and have great memories. This is not to say that your 4 years were a crystal staircase. However, I have always believed in ACE. 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 Attitude changes everything. That is my first nugget of departing wisdom. ACE. With that in mind, I choose now, and I will choose for years to come, to remember the class of 2015 for all their great moments. I'll remember your class during your junior year, setting a record for the highest ACT score at Wayne Memorial High School. I will also fist pump when I recall some terrific cross-country seasons and a state title in bowling. I will recall some hilarious school plays and musicals and the ending of the notorious streak in football. I get a smile on my face when I reminisce you all charging the field at South Lyon East. I will also smile when I remember the senior farewell event. Pictures of you all falling off the mechanical bull, rolling around in hamster balls, and belting out Frozen songs on the karaoke machine will flood my mind every time I enter high velocity. You brought school spirit to sporting events, and you demonstrated Wayne pride again and again. Summers at leadership camp, August band camp, plays, competitions, pep assemblies, dances, and report cards are all moments in which you, class of 2015, shined. Thank you for allowing me to share in these group moments with you. While I recall these shared moments of the class of 2015, I recall and recognize the individuals that have made these moments. The class of 2015 has been an extraordinary group, and it is made up of an extraordinary group of individuals. While I won't share all the individual memories in this venue, know that I will treasure being able to be part of those memories with you. In addition to remembering your time up until now, since today is commencement, I feel the need to talk about what lies ahead for each of you. Several of you will go off to college, universities, or trade schools. Several of you will head to Grand Rapids, East Lansing, Ann Arbor, Ypsilanti, Mount Pleasant, and Kalamazoo, or another city that does not border Wayne. Here you will study and hang out in dorms, and study, and meet new people, and study. Others of you will head off into the workforce. You have jobs lined up, and you are eager to start working and earning your way in life. Others of you have made the commitment to serve our nation. If you are enlisting in a branch of the service, would you please stand? We are all thankful for your service because we know that freedom is never free. As you depart on your next destination, be sure to set a plan. Tony Dungy once stated that a goal without a plan is a wish. That is another nugget for you. A goal without a plan is a wish. Whether it is the service, the workforce, or higher education, I know you all have goals to make your way in this world. You have many ideas swirling in your heads about what you will do and who you will become. Take those ideas and make a plan on how you will achieve it. As Stephen Covey put it, start with the end in mind. Going to college is not the end. Graduation from high school is not the end. Start your plan with where you want to be in 10 years from now, and work backwards from there. Pencil out a plan for yourself, and look at the 10-year plan and figure out where you need to be in 5 years. Take that 5-year plan and break it down into this next year. Establish measurable benchmarks for yourself. What needs to be done next week and what needs to be done this summer. And then make plans to get those benchmarks done. Each of you have the right stuff. You have the skills and the talents to achieve your goals. You just need to lay out your plan and hold yourselves accountable. Whether you desire for me to hire you as a teacher someday, desire to become a distinguished alumnus, desire to be a great mother or father, you will need a plan. I wish that each of you set a plan. I would love to tell you that everything would go according to that plan. However, I know that things don't always work out. In those moments, I wish that you remember that attitude changes everything and that you do control your attitude. I hope you stick to your plan, yet have the flexibility to regroup when things unravel or another opportunity presents itself. In short, I wish you the best. I am very thankful for having been able to watch you all become the people you are today. I wish you have as much joy as you have given me. If history is the greatest predictor of the future, I am confident in the class of 2015. I know that each of you have the skills and the work ethic to achieve your plans. You have accomplished many things already, and you will surely accomplish many more in the future. You have come a long way from where you began, and you can tell me all about it when we see you again. Congratulations, class of 2015. We are proud of you, and we are at ease knowing you're the leaders of tomorrow.
The tremendous pride of their families and friends, and the deep satisfaction of the entire school district staff. One journey ends today, another journey begins. Our graduates will leave this auditorium shortly with a diploma declaring them ready for that journey. I believe they are ready, but only they can know for sure if this is the case. Socrates lived some 2,500 years ago. Still, I'm sure you've heard of him. He was a Greek philosopher and a great teacher. He believed that we should take some time to look at who we truly are for clues regarding how we will live our lives. He believed that the unexamined life isn't worth living. That's great advice. Take inventory of yourself. Know what you're willing to do and what you find unacceptable. By answering these questions, you'll be closer to achieving a satisfying and happy life. Others have said the same thing in different ways. Eleanor Roosevelt was one of the great women of the last century, and of any century for that matter. She believed that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. We all need dreams. We all need to honor those dreams throughout our lives. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a 19th century poet and transcendentalist philosopher. His message was the same. Do not follow the path that others may follow. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. None of us can possibly be successful or happy if we're willing to accept mediocrity as our goal. I encourage each of you to look into that mirror and determine what you are capable of in the years ahead. When you've done that, set your goals beyond that estimate. Do more than you believe you're capable of. You will certainly find life as a challenge. Embrace that challenge. Live a full and rewarding life. Now I have one final quote this afternoon. It comes from the late Steve Jobs, the co-founder and CEO of Apple. Reflecting back on his life and assessing his future, he offered this advice: your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. I celebrate your accomplishments and thank you for allowing me to share this special day with you. Dr. Harmala, on behalf of the Board of Education, thank you for an exemplary job, and please accept our gratitude, along with the gratitude of the community, of our parents, and especially of our students. And by the power vested in me, as president of the Wayne Westland Community Schools Board of Education, I hereby declare the Wayne Memorial High School class of 2015 officially graduated. Congratulations.
Victoria Elise Boyd Jennings, valedictorian.
Vincent Harold Morgan, salutatorian.
Michelle Emily Johnson, valedictorian.
Armin Justine Acuna.
Tessa Noel Lee, valedictorian.
Khalil Jarrell Bryant.
Megan Lynn McCurry, valedictorian.
Lavelle DeQuan Nolan.
Jessica Wallace, valedictorian.
Joseph Wyatt Way.
Veronica Jarmoshevitz.
Mackenzie A. Beanie.
Jade Angelique Kidwell.
Collins William Hudson.
Sierra Monet King.
Matthew Kriska.
Natalie Dion Grace.
Nicholas Allen Harry.
Carly Lynn Buford.
Akash Craven Patel.
Joy Free Carr.
Zachary Lee Prosig.
Erica Elizabeth Cook.
Christopher Charles Raymond.
Amanda Marie Comesher.
Brian Mark Raymond.
Mackenzie John Monte.
Himashu Agarwal.
Brittany Betul Nali.
Michael Robert Alderman.
Ashley Nicole Keaton.
Terrence Brown.
Danielle Robinson.
Christopher William Burry.
Kayla Lee Strong.
Timothy Burry.
Taye Deshawn Taylor.
Nolan Ryan Berzawa.
Madeline Leslie Abbott.
Matthew Brock Delaney.
Allison Brooke Baker.
Uriel Figueroa Ramirez.
Tiffany Lynn Baker.
Michael Robert Stewart Gibson.
Anaya Simone Del Jones.
Devin Lewis Charles Gibson.
Rachel Louise Evans.
Anthony Lee Herrera.
Aaron Shelby Green.
Eldon Carell Janankis.
Shayna Faye Gale.
Brandon Christopher June.
Deshayla Marie Hampton.
Noah B. Carson.
Hilda Herrera.
Patrick Lee Marshall.
Micah Iman Hill.
William Robert Maurice Murphy.
Kanisha Jackson.
Freeman Offren III.
Antia L. James.
Kassar Armin Sauls.
Megan Ashley Piper.
Colin Lee Thompson.
Mackenzie Rose Lawson.
D'Anthony Delon Watts.
Danette M. Miller.
Jordan Lane Whitehouse.
Taylor Marie Mowry.
Farhan Tassauer Chowdhury.
Helena Faye Reynolds.
Douglas Chong.
Clarissa Smythe Ross.
Dennis M. Dean.
Morgan Schaefer.
Colin Manuel Brady.
Shalia Isabel Spencer.
Matthew Garcia.
Crystal Tillman.
James Dominic Purdon.
Nikki Tolentino.
Corey David Hicks.
Anna Uritu.
Jacob Robert Skill.
Esperanza Daniela Varela.
Alexander Pete James.
Shayna Lynn Hornicky.
Jason Allen Pitts.
Lisa Renee Back.
Christopher Ian Sosner.
Mariah Alexis Burge.
Carter Corindo.
Kelsey Renee Burns.
Jalen Patterson.
Arlette Cortez.
Sean Thomas Royal.
Elena Kenya Monet Cotton.
Jonathan Denard Shaw.
Sierra Lynn Eschenbacher.
Brandon Joseph Sigler.
Ashley Deshauna Hall.
Paul Allen Smith.
Farrah Ray Jelvin.
Stash Philip Shostak.
Megan Maria Hornbull.
Matthew Timorovich.
Elizabeth Christiana Johnson.
Quandrell Thompson.
Alexis Lancey.
Angelo Cyrus Wiggins Jr.
Yvette Charday Madison.
Ignacio Victoriano Alvarez.
Ashley Amanda McGeorge.
Jalen Marcus Anderson.
Myrisha Rochelle McNabb.
Brandon Paul Anson.
Shirley Molden.
Bradley Charles Baggett.
Carissa Jean Sharon.
Michael Howard Becker.
Shakira Lynette Shoulder.
Brendan James Benton.
Nina B. Smith.
Mark Dylan Becky.
Riley Shira Lynn Thomas.
Trevor Wayne Brooks.
Haley May Vaughn.
Nicholas James Carter.
Taryn Lynn Williams.
Joshua Tyler Brown.
Ashlyn Faith Wilson.
Torrance Brown.
Deja Wilson.
Joel R. Burton.
Elise Michelle Aaron.
Daryl Tavares Burton.
Brianna Jean Aquilino.
Trevor Cargill.
Tajay Allen.
Joseph Robert Carter.
Montani Danielle Ballard.
Tyler James Chard.
Natasha Banks.
Levante Anthony Cox Tuttle.
Brian Marie Barr.
Trayvon Maurice Craig.
Madison Beach.
Alexander Tyler Custer.
Alexis Marie Weiser.
Austin Michael Cavalier.
Macy N. Blanchard.
Aaron Andrew Zeman.
Megan Elizabeth Bowie.
Andre Leonard.
Danae DeRay Tracy.
Nicholas Alexander Douglas. Noah C. Drake.
Tiffany Lee Byrne.
Ethan Scholar Scott Hoover.
Barbara Caldwell.
Nicholas F.
Tamara Shantasia Calloway.
John Edwards.
Mariah Francisca Camden.
Ryan Lee Eggett.
Nasila Inez Pope.
Charles Michael Elam.
Jessica Lynn Colvin.
Nicholas Ramon Escobar.
Amanda Marie Kochak.
Devin Farrell.
Aaliyah Brandon Crawley.
Devin Manuel Figueroa.
Alyssa Christine Crawley.
Justino R. Garcia.
Chantel Miracle Grigler.
Kyle Chase Gruich.
Shantania Brittany Brianna Cobb.
Aaron Hyman.
Raven S. Dean.
Jamon Higgins.
Lydia Francis Durr.
Cameron Joseph Hubbs.
Christina Maria Endress.
Drake Kobe Jarvis.
Stephanie Harrison.
Philip James Jefferson.
Angelica Maria Fahey.
Julian Lafitte Jones.
Ashley Nicole Ferguson.
Jordan Malik Kelly.
Dorian Lene Fleming.
Aaron James Catala.
Deanna Marie Flores.
Jared James Petroside.
Jasmine Foreman.
Lucas Xavier Peter.
Tiffany Frizzell.
Ryan Brent Coon.
Jasmine Renee Avery.
Kendall Robert Coople.
Taylor Renee Gill.
David Allen Licado.
Asha Shea Gill.
Daniel Little.
Shakayla Marie Gibson.
Matthew Ryan McCarron.
Shakia Sadie Gray.
Chloe Andrew Markle.
Rajane Simone Haley.
Heather Douglas Martin.
Briandria Hawkins.
Travis Lamont Massey.
Kendall Nicole Wood.
Julio Devon Mayfield.
Ashley Marie Hurd.
Jesse Robert Medlin.
Bayana Renee Jackson.
Eric Ricardo Mendoza Reyes.
Stephanie Bessie Joyce Jackson.
Michael Austin Minnis.
Taylor Simone Johnson.
James Minton.
Jate Leanne Jones.
Jeremy Richards Mitchell.
Brianna Rose Dixon Nabeck.
Jalen Malcolm Moon.
Carolyn Coble.
Jeremy Kyle Moon.
Erin Kathleen Law.
Donovan Lamar Nasty.
Rachel Lynn Leffler.
Garrett Wade O'Shell.
Passion Terrell Legion.
Jesus Armando Ochoa.
Sanaya Deanna Emily Higgins.
Oh, I can be. Watch me.
Alyssa J. Patako.
I can be if I am.
Christopher G. Weddle. Denasia A. Fort. Deandrea Eileen Creed.
Bailey Christian Sweeten.
Megan Marie Freeby.
Alexander Lee Wilcox.
Alexandria Richardson.
Otherwise II.
Shelby Grace Griffin.
Daryl David Clay Wood.
Lady Diana Rodriguez Vargas.
Nathan Allen Wood.
Layla Nicole Russell.
Evan I. Elizabeth.
Amber Janine Skaggs.
Brian Michael Bryant.
Haley Marie Sheedy.
Zachary Michael Worcester.
Jordan Sheffield Sadler.
Isaiah Deshaun Young.
Sierra Diamond Shepard.
Rachel Nicole Sheridan.
Samantha Marie Steiner.
Caitlin Renee Cooter, valedictorian.
Kayla Stewart.
Abigail Lynn Baker.
Abrea Al Stoll.
Renee Tiana Strickland, valedictorian.
Adriana Christina Taylor.
Edward Brian Arnold, valedictorian.
Asia Cheyenne Taylor.
Jordan Robert Bishop, valedictorian.
Rachel Michelle Taylor. Autumn Brianna Saxton. Kayla Andrea Turley. Carrie Ann Tyler. Estera Ritu. Brooke Elizabeth Vargas. Rosario Yasbat Velasquez Cervante. Savannah Blood. Takaya L. Wallace. Kiara Watson. Shelby Marie Lee. China Wellen. Darian J. Wilkie. Brianna Evelyn Williams. Lasasha Williams. Maya Michelle Williams. Chelsea Nicole Willis. Stephanie Wyckoff. Abigail Wisniewski. Danielle Elizabeth Wood. Alicia J. Wooden. Katrina Walker.
Go, Keisha, go.
Haley Lynn Lewis. Rachel Oxtob Cherian. Gabrielle Renee Sharon.
Go.
Nevri Carbanku valedictorian. Matthew Richard Fisher, valedictorian. Danielle Grace Marie Lynn, valedictorian. Amy Marie Pope.
DeBelle Ware. That I would like to recognize. There are two graduates that could not be with us today, Dejan Brown Deacon and Malik Jordan. These two students are representing Wayne Memorial today at the state finals in track. Please give Dejan and Malik a round of applause. Now I am honored to introduce the senior class president, Jordan Califf.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, family, faculty, and my fellow graduates. Today is a time of celebration, a time of history in the making, of stories and memories, and in a few moments, a time of undoubtedly lots of flash photography. But before we get to the pictures, I was given the great honor of addressing my fellow classmates one last time before we move on to the next chapter of our lives. The class of 2015 has done things no other class has ever done at Wayne Memorial. These kids in front of you, my peers, are without a doubt some of the greatest kids to ever walk across this stage. To know that I'm among them, a group that can do more than raise an HCT average, more than win a sports championship, exceed every expectation, makes me more than just proud. It makes me part of a community that's more than just average. The class of 2015 writes its own stories. We haven't met the standards, we are the standard. With that, high school has created bonds that can never be broken, memories that won't be forgotten. Whether you're going off to college, joining the military, attending a trade school, or going straight into the workforce, the experiences of Wayne Memorial have created and shaped us into who we are. The friends we've made and lost, the arguments, the stress, and the smiles. High school has prepared us, strengthened us, created the legacy that we have left. It has made us into the greatest class the school has ever seen. And see us it will. As we write our stories, we will all do something significant. We are a class of dreamers and chasers, of future innovators and leaders. We can and we will succeed at whatever we desire because of the memories, the experiences, and the stories we've spent the last 4 years writing. They're memories we will take with us as we turn the page and leap headfirst into adulthood. In a few moments, we'll walk out those doors, and our parents will cheer and scream, and family members will greet us, armed with cameras and hugs and lots of love. When we walk out those doors, this chapter will have ended. We are no longer students who changed Wayne High. We will be the alumni who will change the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. Miss Crystal Rumbell will lead the members of the concert choir in singing the alma mater. Will everyone please rise?
Wayne Memorial High School graduation class of 2015.
future start right here.